Well, India have scored 500s in the game from 4 different players. They've got the best bowler of all time at his peak, and the game is 50-50. It's a credit to England for hanging in. We have got a magnificent day of Day 5 Test cricket on the way, which, as we know, soon won't exist when we all get what we actually want, more T20s and 4-day Test matches. That's what we all want, okay? Now, India do the magnificent and the calamitous all in one day. England will need 371 to win. They need 350 more runs to win after a solid start at the end of Day 4 there. Who have you got? Let us know in the comments. 21 for none, chasing 350. It's amazing that this game is as even as it is. I feel like... I suppose we'll get to what's happened in the end, but it's another great day of cricket.
Yeah, it's all set up. And also at Headingley as well, where miracles do happen. Yeah. But who is the miracle for? He goes, statistically speaking, it would be a miracle if England pull this off. But don't they pull these things off? Isn't that what we've been conditioned to understand about this England team? I noticed their journos overnight are saying, look, this is a bridge too far. Will they go for it or settle for the draw? And then I noticed Josh Tongue, or Tong, I'm not sure what it is anymore, rabbit pie eating Josh Tong / Tongue, JT, saying, like, of course we'll go for it. Yeah. Of course we'll go for it. This is what we do. He didn't say, Josh Tong / Tongue didn't say, like, I believe we can get these runs. He says, I believe we can chase anything. He's not even respecting what's ahead of them. It's just what I don't care what it is ahead of us. We can do anything. Yeah. Which is why I wish that India didn't fucking lose 6 for 30 again. Like, I just wanted to see what happens if it was like 500.
Yeah.
Will you go for it now?
Yeah, that's right.
And the answer to that would be yes, because they can chase anything.
Well, if you want to go for it, come and see us live on stage. Birmingham, July 3 with Sir Jimmy Anderson, and London at the EVENTIM Apollo, July 13 with Stuart Broad. Tickets at greycricketer.com. Come along and see us, and we'll chase anything, whatever that means.
Okay, first thing, he goes, KL Rahul makes, unfortunately, just like Boomer the day before, just a deeply forgettable ton because another guy did something else.
Did he ton up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. When?
Mr. Classic himself.
Yeah.
Just like continually doing things that belie an average of 33 or whatever it is. You look at that and you're like, that's high 40s. Yeah. That's what's happened. Mm-hmm. You know, what has happened? Like, yeah, I'm upset at him. I'm upset at this because it's just like, you know, and you look at fucking calamity at the other end, which we'll get to. Right. You know, an all timer. But this is just like, it's just sumptuous drives. It's deft back cuts. It's pulls. It's, you know, classical sweeps off the spinner. Yeah. The flowing lock, the protection of the bat that makes his heart looks like his heart's pushing out. A complete picture of composure and serenity. Yeah. You know, amid like the chaos of this Test cricket under Stokes and Rishabh Pant. It's fucking like, it chills me out deluxe. Yeah. I'm so happy for him. He gets a chance to stand out, given all of his mates have gone now. Mates who have helped him stay in the side, to be fair. And just an incredibly important knock on Day 4, second innings for India. Yeah. And it's like, is anyone going to talk about this?
Yeah. Dropped on 58.
Dropped on 58, exactly. Yeah, the old windscreen wiper there to Harry Brook. Hard seeing ground, Headingley.
KL Rahul he is such a gorgeous driver of a cricket ball. Like, if you're at the airport and you see KL Rahul there to pick you up to take you home, you know it's going to be nothing but classical music, conversations about the arts, science versus religion. There'll be conversations about regattas and yachts, hunting on the weekends, trust-held properties, you know. You'll feel like you've elevated yourself in class even though you've got holes in your shoes. Yes. You know, that's the kind of thing that he gives you. Now, I wouldn't feel as confident if Rishabh was there to pick me up. That's a separate thing altogether. Now, rarely has a cricketer had the balance of Simone Biles, the technique of a Rolex, the grace of Roger Federer, an average fucking 33. Yeah. I mean, sumptuous in this. Like, I look at him like a diabetic looks at a crumpet. You know, you know, like when you've got Mark Butcher groaning on comms. Yeah. You know, like my kingdom for Mark Butcher to groan at me on comms. He's got 900s, 3 of them in England. He's got 800s away from home. Australia, South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies, England. He has got one at home, 199 against England at Chennai in 2016, which of course we all remember. There was also his versatility is such that he was speaking Tamil when Sai Sudarshan was batting, Hindi while Pant was at the pitch, and Kannada while Karan Nair was in the pitch. So
that's what Nas said. That's what Nas meant when he brought up his 100. That high class knock. He just meant the social and educational class of the man. That's right. Which that's high praise from England. Of course, when you can get that, Aussies don't get that.
No.
It's you want to, like, the game's always changing before our eyes. Every single comment you make about the game must be prefixed with what you've got to understand about the modern game is. But KL Rahul doesn't make you understand about the modern game. He allows you to watch the game as a combination of the history and tapestry of the game from W.G. Grace, who was good off his pads.
He was.
Through to today. He knits it all together, KL Rahul.
Beautiful.
And the flowing locks, of course, must be mentioned. The shapes that it makes, everything is safety with KL Rahul in England in particular. Something about the hue of the sky and the green and the
it's also cherry. Tattoos, though. It's tattoos as well.
Of course, that's how he knits it together. He's past and present. He's past, present, and future. KL Rahul. That is to me, that is the alchemy. He's the alchemy of cricket when he plays in England.
Yes,
right. So, Rishabh Pant is just like modern. Meth pipe, holes in shoes, driving at pace.
See you later.
Cartwheels, etc. No, Sonny, not today.
Yeah.
Just fucking stay in your lane, just like I tried to. But
KL Rahul is W.G. Grace.
Yeah, Vijay Hazare, 1948.
Carpe diem.
Exactly.
My brother's keeper across the neck.
Yeah, Nawab of Pataudi, all the way through. Tendulkar, which one comes first? And that's all you can say. Yeah. That's all you can say about the knock of 137 against England to
dropped on 58.
Dropped on 58. Yeah. Dropped on 58. But to set up the game as best he can, just to say this Indian team, their like statistical and historical lead in this game, their advantage that they have, that they don't have.
They don't have.
They don't have this advantage.
No.
That it looks like they do.
No.
KL Rahul can only bring you so far.
Yeah.
But like it has been built off the back of just star performances with the bat. Like, what is it? 5 centuries.
Yeah.
Across 2 innings.
Yes.
From the top 6.
From 4 different
and
guys.
And then one master with the ball.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the cavalry. Any fucking danger of anything, please. Can you take a catch? Can you take a wicket? Can you score a run? The answer's no. And now everyone's like, all the English journalists are like, oh, look, this is going to be a real test for England. It's like, no, I've got England doing this if the weather stays good. Like,
so do I.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think they'll do it sort of 2 or 3 down.
Just strumming it around, like it'll just be rhythm and like, look at that, they're on 240 now. Anyway. That's KL Rahul. Now let's get on to the real ton, Rishabh. Rishabh Pant. So what is it? 118. He starts like a headless chook. It's a chicken without a head. It's just movement deluxe. He's fallen over. He's doing his thing. He's smashing it onto his pad. They're reviewing. It's chaos. It's calamity. That's how he likes to start his innings.
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant's just I am just going to be all over the shop. Let's see where we land.
Yeah.
Right. And he's been through that before. But like he then he goes from. He somehow gets to 45. Then he goes from 45 to 95 in 28 balls.
Yep.
By standing still. So he scores more quickly when he bats conventionally.
Not as fun.
Not as fun, and I wasn't really paying attention at that time. And then he gets to 98 and decides, I'm sick of scoring 90s. I'm sick of getting out in the 90s.
Yeah.
I might just become like, I don't know, Dom Sibley. And I might just enact Dom Sibley now.
Okay, got it.
Drive by on Dom Sibley.
That's or a touching tribute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just like crawls his way excruciatingly there with singles and leaving balls outside off stump. And Jamie Smith decides to let 17,000 buys go. But he brings it up, and then we don't get to watch him on TV because the camera's just fixed on Sonny Gavaskar telling him to do a flip. Right. Yeah. And Sonny does like to comment on Rishabh from time to time.
Typically.
Yep. And Rishabh just gives him this one and says, no, not today. And so that's Rishabh Pant's 100 in contrast to the alchemy of KL Rahul.
Right. Yeah. So that's his 8th Test 100, of course.
Yeah.
Now. He's also been out 7 times in the 90s.
So could have had 15.
And the first Indian to score 200s in a test against England.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's
twin
pretty
tons.
good. That's pretty
twin
good.
Tons.
Twin tons. Yeah,
Yep.
first Indian to do that against England.
Yep.
So this was, as you said, at his absolute crack house best, complete chaos. You could feel, at the beginning of the innings, you could feel Sonny warming up with warm tea, gargling at the back of the press box just to go stupid, like an opera singer, hailing it from the rooftops, you know? So he runs at Woke's second ball. He edges that over second slip. He tried to hoik cast into Qatari airspace, topical. That bounced next to fine leg and second slip when he was on 10. Edge to a vacant second slip on 31. Edge to a vacant first slip on 45 or vice versa off tongue, and then dropped on 75 against Stoke. It would have been a screamer, the catch at Stoke.
It would have been one of the all-time catches, but he's been dropped.
Yeah.
Dropped.
Yeah. He got a hand drop, put it down.
Dropped on 75.
I mean, he also spent the entire IPL striking it less than he has in his test match, I think. He was just blocking the shit out of it for luck now.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but like, I always felt like when we played, right? That
Yes, finally.
Yeah. So,
Finally the prison people have waited for. What's it sort of like compared to when you played in 2007?
When you played. Like it was the hardest to like set a field when guys would score in like unusual areas. Now, like obviously like lots of guys now, they score like 360. They're four-dimensional players, right? I understand that. But there's unpredictable, and then there's like trying to like domesticate a nuclear meltdown. You know, like it feels like you're trying to contain like a wildfire during a hosepipe ban when he's batting. He moves the game so quickly.
Yeah, he's very much like a fuck's sake player for the captain. You know what I mean? Like he would hear so many groans.
Yeah.
Around the ground.
So when he tries to smash cast when he's on 10, and if that went straight up in the air like it did in Melbourne when Sonny said stupid, they're then 4 for spit essentially in a, you know, and then the game would already be over, I suppose. So like it's frustrating, I suppose, in that regard. But you know, when the wickets are flat, he can do the miraculous and he can move the game and take it away so quickly from you, which I suppose is what England tries to do. So like in many ways, these dual hundreds are actually thanks to England.
Oh, no doubt he's been inspired by the way England does it. What a conundrum Rishabh Pant is. Like he's so chaotic in the way that he bats, but if you just look at his numbers, he's firstly like he's a test player before a white ball player.
Yeah.
He averages 44.4. Like and like his strike rate is lower than what you'd think it is. You know what I mean? Like he takes circuitous routes to be like, you know, to 20 or 40 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're looking at an all-time great. I mean, if you look at those 90s, you know, you can't say if he converts them because he doesn't convert them. That's part of who he is. But like 8 test tons at like where he is in his career, he's gonna like he will inevitably draw like inevitably the conversation will be is he the greatest keeper batter of all time.
Yeah.
So
Gilchrist had 1,700.
17, yeah. So he's played 44 tests, Rishabh.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's just on track.
Yeah.
And he could have had like, you can't say, you know, if he converted all of them because then he'd just be someone who never got out in the 90s. But like he could be on 12 test hundreds or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's 27 till he's 28. So anyway, yeah, he crawls his way to 100, then decides, fuck this, I'm going to smash every single thing into Qatar and gets out eventually. Yeah. And because he's like, I've had enough. And and then, yeah, Josh Tongue takes 3 wickets in 4 balls. They lose 6 for 31. Rabbit pie for Josh Tongue. Weird Yorkshire shit that people are talking about.
All the best.
Peter Rabbit stuff. Pete.
Okay.
Pete, I don't know. Is it rabbit pie? Pete.
That would make sense, I suppose.
Where's me pie, Peter? Run, you silly bugger, Peter.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I haven't brought that out for a while.
7 for 41 in the first innings they lost. 6 for 31 in the second. Oh. Hard to know where it's all gone wrong for India. Hasn't all gone wrong. They are technically leading. Just feels like it's so much harder for India to take 10 English wickets, though India score more runs in the first innings, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But do you know what I mean? Like when Wokes is coming in at 8 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that seems harder than when Siraj is coming at 6, basically.
Everyone's tied up in knots because they want to show their understanding of the history of cricket where in the 4th innings, like you just get out for 240 chasing this total. But then also people want to say, yeah, but things happen at Headingley in England. They do chase 300. They've done it a few times before. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and as Josh Tongue said, Tong, sorry, says we can chase anything, and I actually agree with him. I agree with him in this circumstance. He says it's actually a good thing for us to do. So it's actually good for their lives as well.
Okay.
To be chasing this. He also noted that it flattened out while India was batting. So like we are getting the full symphony of like we're getting the understanding of the feeling in the dressing room and what's being said. Like if this is good for us. We're not just going to chase this total. We'll chase any total that is given to us. I don't care what this is. It's flattened out. I know as KL Rahul said, I think within 10 minutes of the same interview kind of phase of the game, said it was a very tricky wicket. I didn't feel set at all at any stage. With this wicket, you never know what to expect. Everyone's playing their role.
I don't have the quote in front of me, but Ollie Pope did say yesterday that sun came out when India were batting, when it was our turn to bat. It was overcast. It was quite tricky out there. Scored 106.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. I get surprised if people score runs and they say it was pretty good going out there. I've cashed in.
Yeah, I've cashed in
on a flatty. I wouldn't be reading too much in them 100. Dropped twice, by the way. That would be refreshing.
Yeah. I also nicked one and no one appealed.
Yeah. We talked to a South African player on Lords last week and said congratulations on your contribution to winning this game. He's like, I didn't do anything. I did shit all. That just wasn't on air.
I would actually, that's something I would like to start doing at the end of my career after playing sort of 120 test matches. Yeah. I would start to fuck around with people in press conferences. Just say like, I edged one when I was on 7 and no one appealed, even though that didn't happen. And then people would be like, then they'd go back and watch the footage.
Yeah, just become like an inveterate liar.
Yeah.
Compulsive liar.
Become.
Sorry, that's right. I would like to have, so all 4 results are in play.
I'll tell you what's not in play, you having sex with a woman.
You're not wrong, pal.
Pizza.
Hey, pizza. Come here, pizza. I am upset that I think we've missed the opportunity to see if England would shut up shop here just from the ego play. If it's rain affected, maybe they will. And then
is there some weather?
There's meant to be some weather. Foiled by the Yorkshire.
See 4-day test matches.
Yeah.
People have it right.
Exactly. And they've chopped 21 off the total, so 350 to get that. They'll do that if they dig. They'll do that by tea. They chased 378 at Edgbaston 3 years ago as well, and obviously Headingley 2019, roughly the same score. Yeah. So I guess with this, like with Bazball, like England's always the main character in it. Like don't you think? Like in its own eyes, like no opposition is allowed to be part. Like the opposition is always just the like a part of the chorus and the ensemble around. Like it's England versus its own heroic ambitions. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out tomorrow. They will they'll have a crack at it. I think if they get the full day in, they'll probably do it. Like the deck's good, and India has one bowler.
Yeah, it's a spreading of the empire.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I do think it's a credit to England that like a chase of 350 in any other scenario would be a miracle, but like. I don't think it would quite be that if England does it. I think it's a credit to them. This is like a day like tomorrow is exactly what Bazball was set up for.
Yep.
If they do this, the project is on the up. It is coming together. Especially given like how many guys scored hundreds in the other team.
Yeah, well, So there's been 600s in the game and a 99. The scoring rate's been quick, obviously. I mean, there was some spin. I'm not sure how many times Jadeja has won a game for India in the Senna countries, as they say. I honestly don't know what it is.
Ayrton Senna.
The Ayrton Senna countries. So I mean, he'll have a role to play, you'd think, but I don't. It does instinctively. I don't think he has a record of like winning games away from India. But I mean, but that might be wrong. I just don't feel like it. So it feels like Bumrah's got to take 9.
Yeah.
Across probably 3 spells. So that's going to be pretty good to watch when that happens.
How many spells does he get? No, it's 96 over day, and they'll obviously bowl every one of those. So let's call it an 80 over day.
So he's bowling. How many is he bowling? Is he bowling like 20 overs in his day?
He's bowling like, let's say like, what does he get? Like 5 spells, 4 spells, maybe. If they bowl 85, then he'll get another with a new ball. A wicket a spell.
Spent a lot
so other guys are just like, can the other bowlers just take like And they're chasing 350, so they'll offer chances.
Well, that's the thing, because I think about how they actually take 10 wickets, like the avenue to do that. Like no one can catch, obviously, so that hurts.
That's hard. It's hard when catching goes out the window against baseball.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chop-ons in the game. So Duckett chopped on.
Really?
Yeah, I know, off the field mostly.
You couldn't do that during COVID.
KL Rahul and Shubman Gill both chopped on in this innings. So I feel like
so a bit of variable. Are we going to see variable? Doesn't it? It just becomes flat, and then Stokes just hits it to the Western Terrace off Pat Cummins, and I throw my TV out the window once again.
I want to know if the Aussie guy who did this and was crying in 2019, if he's still at the ground.
True.
I presume he's been immortalised somewhere in the ground, and rightfully so. Maybe he just froze to death. So what's more likely, India take 10 wickets in a day or England score at 4.5 and over?
That's 4.5 is unders for them, isn't it? Yeah. That's what they do.
I mean, it's chase anything. But at the same time, if they chase 350 or 371, that's an unbelievable.
Oh, someone's done,
But they've done it before. So
I can see Root scoring 180.
Yep.
Just doing his thing.
Yep.
Okay. Well, obviously that's well set up from us there. Ahead of tomorrow. AskTGC, this is from Master PPV. There's a lot of English suck off that goes on, but not to be outdone. Not to be outdone. Do you have it there, Juggy, or read it? Okay, Master PPV. Just a quick factoid. There have been 1,026 runs scored on this deck in 3 days. Bumrah's averaging less than 17. Just going to let that one sink in for a sec. Okay, mate. Anyway, if you guys had a choice between having Bumrah or Rishabh in the Aussie side, which would you go for? If you pick Bumrah, which of the Aussie quicks is he replacing? And if you pick Rishabh, which batter is he replacing? And what spot in the order is he batting? You can't see it there, but it says show less as well. And Nathan, I should have clicked that. But should say less. Well, look, I included that because let it not be said that England is the only country that performs acts of autofellatio. You know what I mean? This is someone saying, which of our players do you covet? Which of our players do you want in your team? The answer there is Bumrah by the length of the Flemington Straight. And I wouldn't replace any quick. I would just add him in and fuck off one of the batters that don't score runs because you only need 150 with that attack. And they'll do the job.
They can just about figure it out already.
And if it's which bowler, it's like, no, I said which bowler do you place? Any of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, as a Christian, Pezza, I don't covet anything.
Nice.
So that's my answer. Josh Tong.
Covet drive.
Covet drive. All right. Well, what a great setup for the final day. And what a great review of the day's play. This has been a great test match. And I tell you what, if India do win the game, it's going to bring a lot of life and fans to the next couple of test matches because, that's exactly what happened in Australia. And subscribers. So, if you are new here, click subscribe. And if you're not, then I guess don't worry about it. Well,
that's about the situation.
Yeah, it's pretty much where we're at. So see you later.